My name is Mark Fratto, and I'm the voice of the Washington Commanders at FedEx Field. You're listening to the Command This podcast with Steve, Dev, and Phil.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, depending upon which time zone you're in, and you know we're international.
Good morning,
So,
Vietnam.
you know it could be any one of the above. Anyway, because I know we got Yam in Japan, who was already in the chat before we started, because we don't run on CPT time, we do run on CTP time, Command This podcast time. So we're never on time. That's just how we are. The fact that we are all considered minorities is irrelevant. Anyway, good morning to you, Yam. Jimmy Lee Patterson hasn't been in a while, but he entered the chat today. So we already got some people in and waiting and early on all of this. So let me just kick this off. This is the Command This podcast. If you didn't already know, I'm your boy Phil. Next to me is Dev. Before we go any further, I do want to wish our esteemed co-host and usual captain of the ship when it comes to producing this podcast, Steve Lim, a very happy birthday. He is currently out with his family celebrating his birthday, so he is not here this evening. He may be on later, just depends on whether or not he gets back in time. But I told him no rush. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and say, no, Steve, it's your birthday. Damn it, you need to be here to discuss us losing this game. I mean, really, you know, who wants to talk about that anyway? It's not. Forgive me, I'm having technical difficulties already. But anyway, I'm not going to sit here and rush Steve to come in just to talk about a
These sorry ass sorry ass Commanders.
Yeah, these sorry ass Commanders.
Yeah.
So I'm actually trying to bring up the damn agenda for this evening. And let me see if I can get this to show up.
Right.
Processing. See, StreamYard already messing with our vibe here on this podcast. The StreamYard should be putting this thing in the middle, and it's processing. There we go. All right. So, Marcus Edelin, in on the chat. Say happy birthday, Steve. Say happy heavenly birthday to his brother Charles Jr. Happy heavenly birthday to your brother Charles, Marcus. I'm sure he's looking down, looking proud at you being the hardest working man on Facebook, because yes, he is. Anyway, so this game was interesting. This game was exactly what a lot of our fan base wanted. It was close, it was exciting, but we didn't win at the end.
Oh no, man!
A lot of people want, because now we're in the third spot in the draft.
I loved it. We gotta lose out, fellas. So we gotta play. We gotta play Howell. We gotta play how to do that.
Well,
I'm just messing with you, man.
I'll tell you what.
Let's get into
I'll tell you what. Because there was an argument. An argument broke out. Some of us looked at this and said, "Damn, we run a very different offense with Jacoby Brissett." Other people said, "No, it's the same offense. Howell is shit." Right? Like there was no in between. No discussion as to whether or not this was actually an accurate depiction of things or not. No, it's just some people said, "Hey, there's some nuance here." This offense runs differently. We run the ball more. No, we don't. It was the same offense. Everything was exactly the same. How ain't it? Put Jacoby in, which of course makes no sense because all the people who want Jacoby in and Howell out are the same people who want us to draft a quarterback and want the highest pick possible. So neither one of these really makes sense. So I did do a little research.
What'd you come up with?
I went through every play of the game. 58 offensive plays plus one that does not count because it was a pass interference penalty. So it was negated, but I counted it anyway. It actually would go against my proof, but in the end, numbers don't lie. So I looked at this here. Howell played a half and half a quarter, basically.
Thanks.
And 33 offensive plays. We had a run pass percentage. We were 70% pass, 30% run. 23 passes to 10 runs.
Seemed like we ran about none.
70 to 30. Because I wanted to check myself. Because I even said, hey, this offense looks like we run the ball more. People were telling me no. So I was like, well, maybe I'm wrong. Let me do a little research. Then I look at Jacoby, who ran 26 offensive plays.
Oh, yeah.
11 pass, 15 run. So we ran the ball one more time. We ran the ball 11 times in a quarter and a half under Jacoby, down 20. But we ran the ball 10 times with Sam, and the game started 0-0. So you can't deny that the play calling didn't. You can't say, oh, the play calling didn't change. It absolutely changed. The percentages are there. We were a 70% pass team with Howell, 57% with Brissett, right? We ran the ball 11 times on 26 plays versus 10 times for 33. So these are things you do have to take into consideration. When we talk about run-pass balance, 70% pass under Howell, 30% run. Under Jacoby, 57.7% pass, 42.3% run. And Sam and Steve and I have been advocating obviously you're going to throw the ball more in the modern NFL. Why not keep it to try to keep it around? I mean, everything's situational. I get it. Some games are going to be more or less. But over the course of a season, you should average a 60-40 split if you're going to be more pass-heavy team. Instead of we were up to 75% at some point this season. Right? So, again, we throw the ball more with Sam. Now, Jimmy Lee Patterson says something that kind of belies the process. Now, Andre, glad you're here with us. I know you're trying to get passengers. Hopefully, and he's driving Uber and Lyft. You know what, man? Hey, you're doing good work. You're doing good work. I used to drive a cab, like a legitimate cab, not Uber or Lyft. We had a cab stand and everything you had to report to. We had dispatch and all that. I get that. Now, here's what I want to point out. Jimmy Lee Patterson says, I'll pull this up. Says, Sam can't move the ball at all. He's always behind schedule. Okay. If that's the case, why would we move the ball more with Sam to begin the game? I can sit here and tell you exactly. All right. The first 5 plays of the game, 4 of them were passes. So if Sam can't move the ball at all, why are we throwing the ball more? So this goes back to a reflection of what is Eric Bieniemy doing? I don't understand. I liked the play calling under Brissett better because it was more of a West Coast offense, more slants, more hitches, a lot more stuff to put receivers in a position to get yards after the catch, right? A lot of quicker stuff, quicker breaks. I like that offense. Run that more. Run it with Sam. Now, if a lot of the West Coast offense to quicken the reads is pre-snap reads. Now, if Sam's having problems with pre-snap reads, at this point, level with us. But usually when there's that kind of a struggle, that's usually already kind of put out there by the media as a sources tell us that Sam Howell is not picking up the pre-snap reads the way he's supposed to and is struggling with this. We really haven't seen his report.
I think it's a mixture of him not knowing some of those pre-snap reads and the offensive line. I think it's just kind of it's kind of a mixture. Maybe some of the blocking schemes that he's starting to get, he didn't have earlier in the year. He didn't have down either. Most guys in the first 14, 15 games don't have all that down. So I don't think that Howell is doing anything that's uncharacteristic of a guy who's got 14 starts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he's doing anything worse or better than anyone in the league's first 14 starts. I mean, if y'all want to take the Pepsi challenge on that, bring up any quarterback you want. First 14 starts, bro. I mean, I'm thinking he's not doing anything any worse or any more than they are. The 2 interceptions I think he had 2. I think both of those were batted drop balls by us to the defender.
The interception, the first interception.
One 100% was
hit Thomas right in the hands.
And there was a couple of drops before that too.
Off. The second one, Curtis Samuel just slipped and fell. If Samuel's standing up, it's right in his hands out here. It's out here. And he can catch that, but he just slipped and fell. Now, but granted, I mean, yeah, like I said, the route scheming and all that was different. I saw a lot more in the way of hitches, slants, and drags, and that's what I wanted to see out of this offense when EB came in, because I was like, oh, it's perfect for a young quarterback because it's only 1-2 read. You don't read when you're running a quick passing offense, you don't have time because of the way everything's scheduled to sit back and read 4 different reads. That's just not how it goes. There's usually 1 or 2 reads, primary, maybe a third if it's a longer developing play. Mikey Yayo says that Howell doesn't see the check down. Really? Because
he doesn't look for it. I mean,
he doesn't look for it, but I
think he does see it though, especially when he breaks loose. I think he sees the.
Yeah, whenever he scrambles, he'll find the check down. But it's funny because I always the before the last few games when everything's kind of regressed, the interesting thing was everybody said, "Oh, Howell only throws to the check down." Now it's he never sees the check down. I notice these things. Andre Shorter points this out. He says even the announcers at just about every game saying that Sam shouldn't be asked to drop back and pass as much as he's asked to. Not only that, but if you listen to the people in this game, they were saying a lot of, well, Sam, could do this, or this better, but his line isn't blocking and his receivers aren't getting open. They literally said that on the broadcast, and I pointed out in the game thread on the Washington Football Addicts page, I said, does anybody else hear this? Because this is what I've been saying all season. Now, around the time Brissett came in, we had to switch at right tackle. Did you notice? I'll bet you didn't, but you did because it got a little bit better on pass protection. Trent Scott was in there. And Trent Scott looked a lot better than Andrew Wiley has all season. And I know Marcus Edelin noticed because he said something about it. But yeah, I mean, you got to think there were 3 passes, easy catches, right? The Thomas, Curtis Samuel, and John Bates all dropped balls from Sam too. So did Sam have a great game? Am I saying, oh, he played great, everyone else failed? No, he didn't have a great game either. 6 of 22 is not on everybody else completely. But I think that when everybody else fails you, you start to fail yourself too. And I think there you could say one causes the other, and that's an argument you can have all day, right? But in the end, I think everybody has failed everybody at this point.
I don't know, man. Look, I'm not that down on Howell as everybody else. I also haven't been that up on him as everybody was either. I've kind of stayed the neutral route on Howell. I expect him to throw interceptions and make dumb turnovers because most guys that are kind of rookie-ish do that. We saw Brock Purdy, who was a lot of guys MVP, throw 4. He probably should have thrown about 5 or 6, bro. keep it real. If you watched the game yesterday with San Fran and Baltimore, he probably could have threw 5 or 6. They did throw 5 total. Darnold threw 1. So they threw 5, but he threw 4. He threw 4, and I think in the first half. So, and they took him out. Guys, I want y'all to understand this. It's not a quarterback controversy there still because they took him out, by the way. They took him out because he was playing bad and it was over once he was getting this guy hurt. That's why they took him out.
San Francisco's got, 10, 11 wins this season, and they took their quarterback out.
I mean, he's had a couple games where he's thrown 2, Purdy has. But he threw 4 in the first half, I think, and no one, I looked on Twitter, I didn't see any San Francisco people throwing that dude under the bus for saying he's terrible, get him out of there. I didn't see anybody asking for Sam Darnold, bro.
Because San Francisco's fan base isn't ours. Our fan base has a big section of it that will only either accept a backup quarterback or a first-round pick. And then when that first-round pick fails, they'll regress to being fans of the backup quarterback.
But I never saw them one person say it. But I mean, not comparing the two, man. Howell hasn't looked good since like 4 or 5 weeks, man. He's kind of looked shaky. But like I said, it's growing pains. Guys also got more film on the guy. And having to kind of knowing his tendencies now. So you're starting to see other things from other defensive coordinators and try to confuse him a little bit. And that's cool. I still don't know if they've announced it or not. I still don't think you should bench the guy for the rest of the year. For what? What are you possibly going to learn from Brissett, who's a free agent next year? He's not coming back. What are you possibly learning from that? So you might as well let Hal play, get his reps in, man. He got 2 more games, get his reps in.
I like the confirmation. I like the confirmation, by the way, that Cleveland offered us draft picks for Brissett earlier this season.
I don't think they wanted us to release him. It was after
no. That came up in the broadcast that they offered us draft picks for Brissett. Now it wasn't going to be a high draft pick, but that tells you because again, this is one of those things where even
you got to fire everybody after that hearing that, though, right? Like immediately, almost. You almost go like, y'all not.
Well, Ron apparently admitted it to when he was interviewed by the guys doing the announcement.
I get that, but Bobby Hurney and all that, they got to go, bro. Like that's like the second or third thing they've done. It's literally like I understand what y'all gonna say because I'm gonna bring up they didn't go after Lamar Jackson, right? That guy looks like MVP of the year. When I clearly said, hey man, you got a free agent in his prime, the youngest MVP ever. It's been nominated every year he's finished the season. He's been in a finalist for MVP of the year. Every one of them. And you mean to tell me you didn't even make an offer and everybody said, it's because they was going to match. Make them niggas match then, bro. Run his numbers up.
If that was Dallas or Philly or New York, I could understand it. But why are you going to play that game with a team that's not even in your conference?
Man, I would play that game because what if they didn't match it and you got Lamar Jackson for a first-round pick, which you wasted on fucking Forbes? Stupid as fucking shit, bro. Like, I'm just saying, a 23, 24-year-old MVP of the year quarterback in this prime is unrestricted free agent, bro. And you would need a quarterback. You ain't had a franchise quarterback since Theismann in this motherfucker, bro. Since Theismann, bro. You ain't had a franchise quarterback since Theismann. And you mean to tell me Lamar Jackson sitting at home and you could at least made them max your ass out?
Lamar Jackson is 26, not 22.
Whatever. He's young. He's getting an MVP this year, bro. He's got another one under his wing coming up probably. You tripping. He's going to be he's going to have 2 of the youngest MVP trophies ever are going to him. Bro, and we sit there talking about we ain't got a quarterback.
You were never going to get him, Dev. It was never going to happen.
It might never happen.
You're mad about us. You're mad about us not playing the drive the price up game with Baltimore.
You should have at least made a run at it, dog. If anything, just to prove that you going for it. If anything, to prove to us that you want a quarterback, just prove it, dog. Somebody you went after fucking Sam Darnold. You went to the guy down in the Rams, wasn't it Stafford? You went to Matthew Stafford and threw 2 firsts at him.
That wasn't this past season. And
I'm just saying, you went after Russell Wilson. Million. You went after Russell Wilson. You went after him. You went after Wentz. You went after fucking the Magic Man that was here for 4 snaps and broke his leg up, whatever his hip, whatever he did. Vince, you went after all them guys, but you telling me that you want to go after Lamar Jackson because you knew that was going to match him? I call bullshit, bro. You didn't do it because you didn't think you had a chance. It's crazy. I call bullshit, bro. That's not the reason. It makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense. It makes no sense, man. And then you pick, and after finishing the year 3rd or 4th in pass defense, you pick the 3rd defensive back in the 1st round of the draft. You know what I'm saying? Who don't even play?
Did you see that clip, by the way, that's circulating that showed, I think it was Mayhew, told the guy's like, so you want Christian Gonzalez? He goes, no, Forbes. That's the guy.
And, you know,
so apparently,
I was on the Forbes
up until the point of us making that pick, who we were picking was a highly contentious bit in that war room.
Look, I didn't mind Forbes at the time. I thought Forbes was worthy of a pick at the end of the 1st round. I just didn't think that we needed it. And at that point in the draft, you do draft for need. And you're in the top 5. I've already said it. You draft the best player available, bro. If you already got a good player at that position, I don't give a fuck. Draft him anyways, bro. Like if Marvin Harris is there at 3, you got to take him. He's the best player in the draft, dog. And I know we got McLaurin. Now we got both. Deal with it. You know what I'm saying? You can trade those 2 twos and get back in the 1st.
It definitely, if we were to draft Marvin Harrison Jr., it definitely means we don't need Curtis Samuel, and we still have Jahan Dotson and
May the best motherfucker win. That's what I say to you, man. It's made the best motherfucker win. Man, how many times have you counted back ever, all injuries aside, when's the last time you look back at a skill position at Washington we played somebody else and we had the best player on the field, bro? Never. Like I can't remember. Sean Taylor might not counting offensive tackles and shit. I'm talking about skill position players, dog.
I would say late 2012 with RG3.
Nah, man.
Like,
that's 8 games of the season. I'm talking about legit player that you are terrified to play. RG3 might have been close.
With that offense, he was. Outside of that offense, no. But in that offense, when he was not trying to be a drop back quarterback, when he was just playing to his strengths, yes, I would say that. And I'm not someone who sits there and romanticizes 2012 like no other year in the history of this franchise ever happened, like some people do. Now, I get that a lot of people are younger than me. All right, I'm 40 years old. I'm an old head. I'll be 41 next month. I get it. I'm old. But anyway, I'm old to anybody who's 20. But anyway, moving on. There's a lot of comments here, and we haven't gotten to them. Joseph Howell points out, he's so glad that I pointed out the difference in play calling. Yeah, I mean, it's proof is in the pudding. I just broke down the numbers.
I think they thought it was over, and then once they see we can score, they just jumped on it. I don't think it was something they planned to do more or differently.
No, I really think that it is called. I don't know why, but it is called different.
And you got to think Brissett don't know the offense either, and he gets less fucking reps in practice. So,
yeah, but Brissett also gets to sit back and watch everything. But why would you call more runs? Why would you call more runs for the veteran backup instead of the young?
Maybe he knows less play of the playbook though. He doesn't practice.
Yeah, he knows all the parts of the playbook that we haven't seen all season, like turning around and handing out the ball. We did more snaps under center with Jacoby. I wanted to go back and watch. I didn't have the time to sit through another 3.5 hours of pausing each play to say, was it, what brought it out. But I went through and went pass, run, pass, run, which was a lot of Sam stuff. Like I said, it was 70% pass with Sam. But anyway.
What did Kyle say again?
Hold on a second. Let me go through some of these. So Mark Seelan says he's been trying to tell people that Sam Howell doesn't trust his O-line after a drop by Samuel and by Thomas pick. The pick that came off Thomas Sands while he was pressing. He's losing trust in EB. As fans, I'm losing trust in EB until I see how he calls the game for Brissett. And I'm like, okay, EB knows how to do this. Now, Jimmy says because EB's game is the pass sets up the run. Maybe, but when you're down 20, why are you even bothering? Why would you set up the run or use the pass to set up the run to say, hey, we're down 20. We got them where we want them.
I don't see that. I don't see a problem with the play calling, man. A lot of times it fucks up because they don't catch the goddamn ball.
I do with the insistence on throwing the ball more. I liked the balance under Brissett better, and we were still throwing the ball more when we were running. It wasn't 50-50. It was 57.7 pass to 42.3% run, which is a significant difference to 70 and 30.
Here's what you're not factoring in though. On four of those drives, they got stopped because somebody dropped a pass, or you end up instead of being second and short or third or first down, it ends up being third and long because Bates drops a pass over the middle, man. Yeah, and then the next play you got to pass. So like a lot of times you think, well, he's calling it wrong, but you have no choice but to call a pass on 3rd and 12 because somebody dropped it on over a second down and 12. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta basically do that. So
Yam has a series of comments that back you up, Dev. I want to get to these here because Yam says that he's not denying Sam has regressed, and I'm not denying it either. I like Sam, but I'm not going to sit here and say that he's gotten better lately. But the first half of the year, he's cooking outside of a couple of games, but the kid has not had anything done for him. This team has not really done anything to help him. You know, and they says the other teams every quarterback uses the run game and screen game so much more. And by the way, a quick note about our defense: we cannot stop a screen pass ever. Like it's an obvious screen pass, and our defensive line's like, oh my god, we see the quarterback finally, and they just chase him, not going, oh my god, why are we running unblocked to the quarterback? There might be a running back right behind me. You know, no one ever thinks that. And he says, we've done the exact opposite of what you do with a rookie QB. That's, yeah. So,
man, I think this is a great
Steve Lim.
I think it's a great rookie win. Throw everything at the dude.
Pop it in. Our co-host, pop it in while celebrating his birthday. Says the comments work on Twitter now, boys.
Are you getting a little hiccup in your voice because it's like jumping into your audio? Is mine doing it to you?
Nope. So it's probably me.
I was tripping.
I'm still look. I just got back.
I got some Crown Royal Coke
through me.
and some the Devil's Lettuce and some cookies from that little troll lives in the tree, townhouse people. And
yeah, and points out it's funny when you think of how many of Howell's best plays weren't anything to do with EB, but things he made happen on broken plays. He does, you know. I think it's funny because a lot of Sam's sacks are come after he's it's either when he's at the top of his drop or when he's already escaped one defender and there's another one right there as well. You know, and I think that's part of the reason why people say, oh, but he has more time to run. Well, yeah. I mean, when you're running for your life and you're mobile, you can escape defenders, but when there's still nobody to throw to, you know.
Yeah, I think these next two games you should probably play your boy over Wiley, just at least get a look at him, bro.
I would love to see what Trent Scott does because he played a lot better than Wiley has all year. Yeah. Howell says he thinks he rarely gets a check down option. It depends. We have shown plays on film review in previous podcasts that show plays where there's absolutely zero check down.
Man, that one last game where he threw an interception over the middle to McLaurin when he had Gibson just chilling on the sideline for a clear first down. And he got yanked after that one. He got yanked after that. I'm like, man, you got to sit down after that one, bro.
Yeah, but we have seen ones where there is a check down. We have seen ones where there's no check down. But I don't think you should really, put quarterbacks in a position, young quarterbacks in a position where they don't have that safety valve. Let's not forget all the drop passes throughout the entire season. There's been a lot of them.
Arma needs to play more, by the way. They need to have a fullback running back system, whoever's the next coach.
Yeah. Steve Lynn points out Howell is second in the league in pass attempts only behind Mahomes. What the?
I like it, Steve, though. I like it. I'm telling you, I like the try by fire. If you're going to lose, man, which, I predicted a losing season. But if we're going to lose, bro, then you need to lose and letting this dude have every pass he can. I wish I hadn't yanked him that last game. For what? What would winning have done for you, dog? What positive would have you gained out of winning that game, bro? Or losing that game? Why would you trying to put like Brissett in? What does that prove to anyone? What did you gain from seeing fucking Brissett, bro? You know what I'm saying? So I was wanting to go out there and keep playing unless he gets hurt or getting threatened to being hurt. Put him out there, let him throw 4 or 5 fucking interceptions, bro. That's what you got. That's what it takes. The season's a wash, bro. We got to see more. We need all the tape we can have. Right now, we got a lot of tape, bro. Some of it good, some of it bad.
Jerome Butler points out on Facebook that Wiley and Leno were both getting beaten like a drum all year.
Yeah. I think Leno was at least respectful.
Especially Wiley.
Wiley was trash juice, bro.
Yeah, Leno's
he's on the all Dookie team, number one. He's the first team all Dookie team. Bro.
He is the number one pick on the all Glock Dookie team. Yes. And yeah, he was hurt.
He's this year's Caleb Williams of Dookiness.
Hurt and Mahomes both threw pick sixes.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks throw pick sixes. That's unlike what certain members of our fan base think, there are other quarterbacks in the league who throw pick sixes. More than one.
Throw a lot of interceptions.
Howell is pointing out our fan base has PTSD and other psychological issues. That's right. And I am I am Dr. Phil for this fan base.
Man,
I think.
I'm telling you, man, I don't want to pick anyone. Whatever pick we have, second, third, fourth, fifth, around that area, whatever the best player available is, pick that motherfucker, dog. If it's a lineman, pick the lineman, man. If it's a wide receiver, pick the wide. If it's a quarterback, pick the quarterback. Whatever on your chart says the best player in the draft, I don't care if you got McLaurin or not, man. If Harrison's there, you got to take him, bro. I understand that you want a quarterback, you want a lineman, dog. Harrison, you don't want Megatron to end up on the Giants, bro. That's what you don't want to happen. So
Jerome Butler says our offensive line hasn't looked good in 20 years. I wouldn't say that because our offensive line looked really good under Gibbs. It looked good because it was built for under Shanahan. It looked better than it should have.
Looked good under Jay Gruden too.
It was above average because it was built for Shanahan's offense. It was not a good line overall, but it was good for what they were asked to do.
Man, they had 2 or 3 Pro Bowlers and an All Pro on a line for like a decade, just not 4 or 5 years ago. So I wouldn't say that they've been bad. They've been bad the last 2 years, though.
Quarterbacks are in the top 5 worst rookie seasons ever in the modern era of football, according to Yam. That's there was zero chance Lamar was leaving Baltimore.
Might not have been, though.
I knew that was going to get.
It might not have been, but I would have done it. I would have tried, man. It wouldn't have been because I didn't try.
Yam says it. The only reason it was hinted at was a bargaining chip for Baltimore. That's right. Hey, look, Todd Samuels in the chat.
I would have ran his numbers up.
In the chat.
I kind of agree. I like Jaden Daniels. If we pick a quarterback, I like him. I like Penix too. I like Caleb Williams. He could be. I mean, the Bears could get the first pick. They might pick Harrison. And then what you gonna do? The second pick don't need a quarterback.
He says, Bandy's gonna go to his dumb playbook for Howell and a good playbook for Brissett. What's the point of Sam getting reps? Yeah, you're right. Because what's how you're developing a quarterback when you're running a bad offense for him. But maybe it's just Howell's not a good fit for what Bieniemy wants to do.
We need to see what all that arm can do, bro.
I mean, obviously, Sam's got talent, despite what some people say. Sam's got talent.
You might get a 3 or 2 out for Sam, depending on the team, dog. Keep it real. If you drop the quarterback, you might get
Minnesota's going to be in the market for one this offseason.
Man, shit. There's a Minnesota. They're going to be picking hot, too low to get a star quarterback. There's going to be all kinds of little teams coming out like that, man. That's going to need quarterbacks. New Orleans, Tampa Bay. There's all kinds of them going to be picking low enough where they can't get one of the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks. Shit.
Marcus Eaton says our fan base thinks we draft a quarterback in the first round. We have the same result. The Houston Texans invested in the offensive line. They franchise tag Jackson. I'll tell you what, Marcus. I was so mad because we had an opportunity to we had an opportunity to trade for Laramie Tunsil a couple years ago. This is under Jay Gruden. We had an opportunity to trade for Laramie Tunsil right when we were dealing with all that BS with Trent Williams suddenly can't put a helmet on his head. And we could have gotten Laramie Tunsil for a lot less than I thought he was going to go for, and the Texans got him. And I was like, man, I like Laramie Tunsil. I think he's a really talented tackle. He's not an all-pro, but he's not going to let your quarterback get murdered either.
I know he's still
I thought he was a guy we should have invested some money in, and maybe a draft pick on a trade.
I didn't know he was in the league.
Oh man, this is shotgun.
I know, I've seen that.
He's not getting MVP. I think he's talking about Lamar Jackson.
He is. I mean, I don't care, but I mean, he's gonna be in that conversation every year. He's healthy every year.
Todd Samuel says bench Sam, draft Jaden Daniels next to Lamar Jackson. Todd, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here for you. If we bench Sam and we put Jacoby in, and according to you, Jacoby is a far superior quarterback. Doesn't that hurt our chances of getting your guy because we win games See, what the thing is, I think you fear Sam looking good again, because then suddenly the team may stick with him, and we don't get your guy. I think that's your fear, because Sam could look good, and I think that's the fear of a lot of people. That's why they want Jacoby in, because they think, well, Jacoby's not going to be here next year.
Jaden Daniels, I'll take him. I wouldn't be mad if you pick Jaden Daniels, Harrison Jr., the kid, the tackle out of Notre Dame, the tackle out of Penn State.
There is a lot.
I wouldn't get mad if you picked the tight end from Georgia. Any of those guys?
Well, let's talk about a couple things here. There's a lot of this is a very top heavy draft. There's a lot of good first round talent,
and we in the
after
top.
that, you gotta start really taking a look at things. But PFF, if you draft Jaden Daniels any higher than 20, you're getting a bad grade. If you draft him in the top 10, they're grading it an F. And if you do a mock draft, so just something to consider. And I know that people are going to say, "Well, you can't trust PFF."
I traded 2 second rounds.
But I mean, Todd uses PFF draft grading and all that to justify his points, but then says you can't trust PFF when it comes to Jaden Daniels.
I'll take him 2 seconds.
We've seen this all in the chat before.
I'll take him 2 seconds and trade for Fields too.
He says Brissett will give the Harris group a chance to assess the rest of the offensive players, maybe even EB. Well, the EB's got to make that call then, if he feels that way. But EB has been very supportive of Sam. So, but EM says, bringing it up for days now, look at Cleveland. 3 straight years of drafting skill and position players and a 10-5 record with a carousel of QBs because they have depth. Cleveland's about to go to the playoffs with an ancient Joe Flacco.
He ain't that old, really, is he?
He's like 38, dude.
Hold on. Alexa, how old is Joe Flacco?
Joe Flacco is 38 years old.
Damn.
He was born on January 16th, 1985.
39 in January. You heard
her. Thank you, Alexa. And he says, not rely on one player since Watson got hurt. It's correct. You can't. This is not the NBA, people. I know quarterback is the most important position on the field, but it's not the NBA where one player is 20% of your roster, of your starting roster, right? You just physically cannot have the same effect on the field as one player in the NBA. You can't do that with one player in the NFL. It's just not possible. You have 22 people on the NBA. You have 5 people on the court playing offense and defense combined. In the NFL, there's 22 people that play offense and defense. 24 if you count the kicker and punter. So that's why you got to think it's more than just one player. We are not one player away from anything except a few more jerseys being sold.
Yeah, we got a bunch of picks and a lot of money to get out.
Daniel says that Rivera is the worst talent evaluator of all time.
Gotta be. He's up there with Michael Jordan, bro.
I don't know. He did evaluate Cam Newton.
I mean, he was the only one you could pick at number 1 that year. It's the only one you could pick. I mean, it is like
that was a joke, Dev. God, y'all just don't pick up on my sarcasm.
You could draft anybody else. It was like you had to be an idiot to not draft that guy.
Marcus says that he thought we should have gotten the right tackle who the Browns got. I can't think of his name, but I thought he would have been a good guy to get too. Jimmy Lee's agree with you. We need a stud. Prefer a stud at quarterback. I want a stud. Period.
Yeah, I'll take the studliest
guy. Who wants a head coach? Well,
Harbaugh, bro.
He wants Jim Harbaugh. I have not decided. Just like I have not decided how I feel about Jaden Daniels. I have not decided. I have not this. I usually wait until after the season is over to start doing my evaluations because I have the ability. I have the time to do so. Right. Once the season is over, then I start looking at things. I look at our actual draft position. I look at who's actually going to be available, who's not. Because hey, there was a moment there we thought that hey, Mike Tomlin might be coming here, and then the Steelers say no, we're signing him to an extension.
That was my dream.
much to the chagrin of a lot of Steelers fans, because a lot of Steelers fans want Tomlin out of there. They want to change. So anyway, moving on. Looking at different stuff. A lot of, Ron Rivera sucks, blah, 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 blah. Okay. Anyway, Andre Shorter asked the question. He still wants to know how BNA be a former NFL running back so pass happy. I don't know, because he wasn't even like a big pass. It's not like he was like a star pass receiving running back either.
Right.
BNB played for the Chargers, and they had a pass catching back, and it wasn't him. It was Ronnie Harmon. So, I don't know.
Man, like I said, the last time we had the best player on the field.
Yam answered your question earlier, Dev. You asked what Keim talked about. And he said Keim talked about the change in play calling, and apparently, to paraphrase it, it was something along the lines of clearly evident that the play calling was different. And I already went through the numbers to show you that it was clearly evident. So Troy Ashley Stammen says that Sam can't run the full playbook. Sam can't do anything from under center, but always needs to be in shotgun. That's actually patently false. We proved that on this podcast in previous weeks, where we went through plays and we showed that he actually does well under center. He actually is very effective under center, running bootleg and things like that. And we run the ball better from under center. But for some reason, they like putting him in shotgun. I think a lot of that is because they don't trust the line, because they run longer developing routes with Sam. They want to get bigger chunk plays, I guess. And I think with Jacoby, they were just like, look, we're going to run traditional West Coast, 3-step drop, pump, 3-step drop, pump, 3-step drop, pump, because that helps the line. And that's the stuff the plays I saw, the routes that I saw receivers running under Jacoby were the ones that we've been wanting to see for Sam, that we just haven't seen. And we've been showing plays all year. I don't have the film for this week because Steve pulls that up. He's not here. But Steve's pulled up plenty of film, plenty of the play diagrams and everything that showed not a lot of, just quick slant, drag, and hitch routes. It's a lot of stuff where there's a lot of meandering routes and so forth.
I don't know who that Facebook user right there is, but I don't think that's true. I think Sam can run.
This is the funny one, yeah.
I don't think that it's.
People,
I don't think
people are saying this is a case of everybody creates a narrative. They're saying receivers drop more of Sam's passes because Jacoby throws a better ball. Like, what? And I agree, because Sam is known for throwing one of the tightest spirals in the league. And you'll see it too on film. Like, he throws spirals. So throws a better ball. Is straight. Yeah, ball hits your hands, chest, mask, catch the damn thing. You're right. And then Troy says Sam is not a rookie. Well, neither is Brock Purdy, but a lot of people give him he's a young quarterback still developing. Sam's a young quarterback still developing.
You're breaking up, but I got what you're saying.
Joseph Howell says that Kendall Fuller is the only guy who can snuff out a screen. Yeah. But I'm trying to get through all these comments. A lot of comments out here. A lot of discussion. Yeah, it says, think about how bad Sam has been. He still as bad as Manning's first season or John Elway or several others. We actually showed statistics that measured Sam Howell versus in his first 14 games versus Peyton Manning, Joe Burrow, and Trevor Lawrence, and he compared favorably. So he's more in line with letting Sam sit in these last 2 games. Minimum shell shock, not broken. He might be a little shell shocked, but
I don't think so. I think they just got film on, and we played a lot of
kind of seem to know camaraderie. I don't think they like Sam. Let me tell you something right now. If you're a professional football player and you don't play as hard for a guy because you don't like him, and you're going to hurt your entire team's performance because you don't like this one guy, I don't want you on this team because you're not a professional. You're a petty bitch. Petty bitches have no place on my roster. All right. But I don't think that's true, because I think our players are professionals. All right. I don't think they like Sam. They don't like him. You need a quarterback that people like. We ain't here to make friends. We're here to win games. This is such a bullshit narrative. I hate stuff like that. Whenever a quarterback is a play, well, they don't like him. Well, yes. The receivers were intentionally dropped balls for Sam, but caught them for Jacoby because they don't like Sam. I mean, maybe you do that in your workplace, in which case you should be fired. But that's not how the world professionals should act. Just saying. I hate shit like that because it justifies being less than professional and excusing less than professional behavior out of professionals. Anyway, I've been going on a harangue here for 46 minutes with a lot of this stuff here. I want to go through a lot of these comments. There's a lot of comments here.
Are they trying to say that he's Bo Callahan, basically?
Mark Sealand points out the Todd Samuel, not Tim Samuel. The Ravens have a top 5 O-line. Even when we had RG3, Trent Williams, Brandon Sheriff, Daniel struggled behind a terrible O-line last year at LSU. Here's the thing. You can have a franchise quarterback, a dual threat quarterback. And if you don't have a line in front of them, he's going to have dual busted knees by midseason.
We got two second round picks, buy alignment with them, dog, and get some use of the $90 million you got.
Yeah, but
quit playing around. Man. Pick the best player available. If that's a lineman, pick him. If it's not a lineman, don't pick a lineman. It's somebody better than a lineman available.
Honestly, if you exclude the tilting of scales towards skill position players, Alt is the top 3 guy.
I'm still taking.
I'm still
taking Daniels overall. I'm still taking Harrison overall. I'm still taking
because they're skill position guys and that's sexy. Overall.
Yeah, no, I'm saying because they score touchdowns. They add to touchdowns. I mean, I'm sorry. The best player on the field are the guy that get the ball in their hands, bro. And linemen definitely make it possible for them, and they add a lot to their success. But bottom line is, a great player is a great player. You know what I'm saying? I'll take Tariq Hill over any lineman in the league. You know what I'm saying? So, and he wasn't picked over a lot of linemen. So, how'd that work? You know what I'm saying? I'll take those guys over any of them, man. If you go out and get me a Megatron, I'll take him over any lineman that's in the Hall of Fame. Any of them. So, I mean, But
if you don't have time to get the ball to Megatron, what value does
I don't know any lineman that played on the lines when Megatron played, bro. He was still Megatron.
You don't know any lineman except
I don't know any lineman from the Lions that's in the Hall of Fame. Megatron's in there. I don't know none of them.
They had good enough ones for Matthew Stafford.
Right.
Once they built a line in front of him, and it took them a while to do that too, and that's where Megatron really took off.
Matthew Stafford might be in the Hall of Fame.
Be safe, Andre.
Lions lineman is in the Hall of Fame.
Mark Seaton puts out there 4 plug-and-play tackles. There are going to be a lot of linemen picked in the first round. There will be.
Man, you're right, Marcus. I'm picking. If you need linemen that bad, trade them 2s and get back in the first and get another lineman, dog.
No, I agree you can do that. And I'm
telling you, bro. Don't you pick me no motherfucking lineman if Harrison, Daniels, and even Bowens, the tight end from Giants.
Dev. Do you think Daniels is a top 3 pick in the entire
Man, I think he's going to be a better player than any lineman we pick if he's good. If both are good, let's say the lineman's good and the quarterback's good, I would rather pick the good quarterback, bro.
But you just backed off your if he's good. Well, you don't know.
You don't know if any of these dudes going to be good though, bro. You can't put that just on Daniels.
Okay, so do you
don't know who's going to be good, bro?
But do you also consider the likelihood of a bust?
Man, I'll take the likelihood of a guy being a superstar than a likelihood of a guy just being really good for a long time.
But there's no such thing as a superstar offensive lineman.
Exactly. That's my point. That's my point. There's no such thing as a superstar lineman. That's my point. You're picking in the top 5. Pick a motherfucking superstar, bro.
But there's no such thing as a superstar winning it all without the proper supporting cast around them.
Man, look, all I'm saying is
How many titles did LeBron win until he had other players around him?
You
How
don't
many
even
titles
remember,
did Jordan
man.
win
He
before he had
got
players around him?
He got there with Sidrunas Ilgauskas, boy. I don't want to hear that about that now. Who do you remember the Island players? LeBron. Get me a LeBron, bro. Then you can find the rest later. Find me the rest later, bro. Get me a LeBron. That's my point. Get me him. Get me that guy, bro.
Pettiness has no place in the locker room.
Man, it sounds like I'd rather smoke a half ounce of some Dro than a full ounce of some Reggie, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Anyway, Yam says that he's not a fan of Mitch and JP, but he's talking about how much Jacoby and Sam get along. It's almost like a brotherly relationship. He can't speak for the rest of the players. I don't get the impression.
Yeah, I like Sam. Bro.
I don't think the players don't like Sam. There's nothing about Sam to not like. The dude just goes about his business.
How about this, Phil? What if they didn't do any of the stuff we think about? What if they went and got Kirk Cousins next year and told Sam to play until Kirk is healthy fully and gets Kirk's squad, dog? So we get Kirk, let Sam play until he's healthy. If he don't start the season, you know what I'm saying? And you got Kirk there, and they take that draft pick and pick, let's say, Harrison. And then they got the next 2 second round picks. They either trade back in, get a lineman, or use those 2 seconds on lineman.
Here's the thing.
What would you think if you went to the year with Marvin Harrison Jr. with Kirk Cousins, and then you pick 2 tackles in the first picks in the second round? You get the number 2 picks. Well, would that be a better case scenario, or does a new rookie have to be a young guy? Does it have to be? Do you have to spend it on a quarterback? Would you rather go get one with the $90-something million with him?
I mean, I saw a comment that I'm about to put up here, but no, I mean, look, I'm a bigger Kirk Cousins fan. I was a bigger Kirk Cousins fan than a lot of people in this fan base were, but it seems like a lot of people in this fan base have kind of looked back and they go, "Damn, Kirk may have been better than I gave him credit for." You know, it's amazing how much better Kirk Cousins was for us from 2015 to 2017. Now than he was in 2015 and 2017, according to this very fan base, because it was so like he's trash. He just puts up garbage time stat. A lot of the criticisms about Kirk I hear are a lot of similar ones that I hear about Howell now, right? But now people love Kirk, and God, we wish we had kept him. I don't want us to make this. I don't want to have the same thing happen again with a much younger quarterback, right? That's what I worry about. Steve, birthday. Smack shit like when he says, Alexa, fart. Dev?
I'm not saying
Steve's asking. Instead, Dev moved right to the next comment.
Hey man, look. Dev, if you look at the teams contending for a Super Bowl, they got a good to great offensive line. If you watch the Cowboys, Dak Prescott was sacked a lot because Tyron Smith, because he wasn't there, I guess, and even Jerry Rice said it today. I mean, yeah, you definitely. By the way, Cowboys got like 1 or 2 playoff wins more than we do. They aren't doing much better than us historically, bro. Don't let the smooth taste fool you. You know what I'm saying? Like they have been basically irrelevant for decades, just like us, bro. So all this, they're marginally better than us ever. So it ain't like they win in the division every year either, man. It's crazy talk to compare somebody to the Cowboys who haven't done shit either, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't said the Patriots or fucking the Kansas City Chiefs or something, I get it. But the Cowboys, they ain't shit, bro. Honestly, they're good today. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, he's not any more successful as anyone else that's marginally better than us in the league, man. I'm not comparing ourselves to them. How many more playoff wins have they won with all those offensive linemen? 1 or 2? Gives a fuck, dog.
Titles
yeah, who cares about that shit? How many playoff wins they got with them niggas, man? 1 or 2 more than us, man.
Steve still following us from his birthday celebrations. Is Luke Lachey at tight end in the 3rd?
Yeah, man. Hey, man. I mean, I like Luke Lachey too. He's dope. I'm telling you, man. Start picking players instead of dudes that you think might fit something, man. Like it's stupid.
Well,
Always pick the best player.
If I felt confident that we could change the offense to fit the players we got, yeah.
I remember Dev wanted what's the safety out of Notre Dame and went to the Ravens.
Hamilton.
I wanted Hamilton so bad, and we could have picked him. Who we picked, man?
All right.
Who we picked?
John.
Right. How'd that work?
The Hamilton was supposed to be a generational top 10 pick. And
man, he's a Pro Bowler last year, and he'll be one this year.
That's all because he plays for the Ravens.
Just
anyway. If he played for us, they wouldn't
even. If everybody they drafted, we should have drafted. You know what I'm saying?
We send punters and special teams players to the Pro Bowl, no matter how good our guys are.
They drafted after us every year, and they still drafted better players. Let that sink in.
They have good talent evaluation.
Who we get? Jamin Davis the year they got Lamar Jackson? No, I don't think that's it. Who would pick that year? No, Payne. We drafted Payne when we already had probably the best defensive line in the league. We had Ioannidis, who was a Pro Bowler. We drafted
Ioannidis has never been a Pro Bowler.
Well, he was good. He was better than a starter caliber, and he was a good player, not just a starter. He was a good player. No, so we had Ioannidis at Allen. You still drafted Payne, and you could have had Lamar Jackson. Crazy talk, bro.
We had just picked up. Isn't that the year we picked up? That was the year we picked up Alex Smith.
Still would have picked him.
But that was before the draft.
Still would have picked him.
They were trying to replace Kirk with a starting quality quarterback to get back to the playoffs because we had been 7-9 the previous year, and they thought we were this close. They always thought we were so close. But I'm talking about Mark Seeland says that Patrick Mahomes is struggling with his O-line. His wide receivers yelling at him yesterday. He says Marcus says he's also struggling without EB. Well, you know what? EB's struggling without him too. So sometimes everybody thinks it's one guy is the key. No. EB was better with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes than without. Andy Reid was better with EB, and Patrick Mahomes was better with EB. But EB was better with those guys too. You got to create the right recipe. It's not one ingredient. It's the entire recipe.
Man, I'm telling you what it is, bro. It's just like we talked about earlier, man. They got some players that are best players on the field when they touch the field. There's very little time that Mahomes touch the field is not the best player on the field. There's very little time where Kelsey's on the field. He's not either the first or second best player on the field. If we played them, we wouldn't even have the third best player on the field most of the times. You know what I'm saying? Think about that, bro. Our best player on our team wouldn't even be the third or fourth best player. And it's like that consistently every time we play. And y'all motherfuckers want to pick a goddamn lineman?
Can I ask you a question?
That's crazy to me, bro.
How many playoff games did Megatron win?
What's that?
How many playoff games did Megatron win?
I don't know. But when we played Megatron, you had to watch Megatron.
But that's my point. I'm using your own argument against you here. Because you talk about playoff wins. Megatron did not see a lot of success in playoffs because the rest of the team around. He had a good quarterback. Matthew Stafford, a great quarterback.
More playoff wins than Ron Rivera.
The rest of the team struggled because they were not talented. You need to have the recipe together. Man, all right. And that's the God's honest truth. And that's why I take the position I do, because I don't believe one player fixes everything. Never bought into that. That's an NBA mentality. You can't apply that in the NFL. It's just, you can't. And Mark Seelan says that he wanted Darisaw instead of Jamin Davis. And he says if we had him, he would love to have Harrison. You're right. I wanted Christian Darisaw too.
I like Darisaw.
But Greg Lane agrees with you. Take the best talent on the board, not take
the best motherfucker on the board,
but
bro.
Again,
Caleb Williams might even be there at 3. Now that you think about it, the Bears don't pick a quarterback, man. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't if I were them. You have 2 picks in the top 10, dog. I would pick Marvin Harrison about the Bears.
Do you think Carolina picks another quarterback?
No, that's what I'm saying. No. If they don't have a pick, it goes to the Bears, bro. The Bears got their pick.
That's right. The Bears got that pick. I'm sorry. That's what I meant.
That's what I'm saying. If they don't pick, I wouldn't, because you got another pick in the top 10, bro. You got another pick in the top 10. One of them quarterbacks will be there. I would pick Megatron if I were them. I'm telling you, I would do it, man. It makes the perfect sense. And then
I would.
Who's number 2 right now in the draft? Who will be number 2? The New England Patriots.
No, we slipped past the Patriots. Well, let me take a look. I can't think of it. They tells you I don't even know who's worse.
Might be the Cardinals, and that's another team that might not. It might not pick a quarterback, man. It might not pick a quarterback. Like it's, you know what I'm saying? That might not happen for them. Just saying, bro. If they don't pick a quarterback, there's a chance we can end up with Caleb Williams, or there's a trade up for him. Yeah, right now, Chicago, Arizona, there's a chance none of those 2 teams pick a quarterback, man. There's a chance.
I don't know. I think they're going to get rid of Kyler Murray.
Man, but how you just get rid of him? Somebody's got to take on $30-something million a year for the nigga. I get my two twos
Marcus
up for him.
says that if the Bears don't draft Williams, they'll trade back, get more picks. I feel that may happen.
If they don't draft Williams, they got another pick in they got the 8th pick. They can trade back and get more picks, bro. If they got the number 1 pick, I'm telling you, they got to be stupid not to pick Marvin Harrison Jr., man. They got to be stupid. They got to be stupid, man. Like, yeah, honestly, they got to be stupid because you can still get a quarterback at 8. Lose out, bro. Lose the rest of your fucking games.
I think that's going to happen anyway because we're playing the 49ers and the Cowboys.
No, I'm talking about us. I'm talking about the Bears. Lose the rest of their games. That number 8 pick is their legit pick. They can move that up to about 5. But they ain't number 1 right now because the Panthers.
They're going to lose their games because they're just not good.
Man, that's
anyway, like I know we had an agenda, but F it. Let's move this thing forward. Let's talk game balls.
By the way, glad Duke get Sam Howell, man.
Hey, well, we'll get to that in a second. Game balls. I don't have the soundboard.
I'm gonna give it to Brisket, man. Brissett.
You gonna give it to Brissett?
Brissett
and who you give it to? And who would you give it to on defense?
Juice. I'm gonna give it to Juice, man.
You gonna give it to St. Juice? See, on offense, I actually was really, really feeling Chris Rodriguez. That's my guy on offense. 10 carries, 58 yards, 2 touchdowns. A lot of those in the second half when Brissett was in. We ran the ball a lot with Gibson in the first half, and we went to Rodriguez in the second half more. And I thought Rodriguez looked good. Rodriguez is really doing a good job auditioning himself for next season as well. 10 carries, 58 yards, 5.8 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. Gibson was 9 for 30 as well. But yeah, Rodriguez is my offensive game ball. Defensively, we'll have to go with Kendall Fuller, 3 defensive passes. I know some people would love to give it to Cleaky Hudson because he had 15 tackles, 10 solo, 5 assists. But I would actually, I will say is Hudson got away with serious pass interference.
He did.
On one pass. Yeah, he definitely got away with it. So, but I would go with I'm going to go with Kendall Fuller. Anytime you have 3 defensive passes in a game, you're sticking your receivers. And Fuller's the only one who really seemed to do well coming up to tackle on those short wide receiver screens and so forth. But those are mine. Get to the comments here. We talk about different picks and so forth. Jeff Halma says he agrees that Moore and Harrison would fix the wide receiver woes the Bears have had for years.
Right, I would do it. Like you could definitely still get it. That's going to be Penix, probably Bo Nix. That's still going to be quarterbacks in the top 10 that you're going to be able to pick. Man, I would be surprised.
The problem with the Bears is they need a quarterback. I think Justin Fields is done.
I think Fields is just fine.
I look at Fields the way that I kind of look at Sam Howell.
I'm giving 2 twos up for Fields,
but may not be, but may need to go elsewhere to really stand out. They're not. I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at with those 2. I can't deny Fields has natural talent, but I just don't know if he's going to do well in Chicago.
Breaking up.
Greg Delaney, Sam Cosby's been playing better. Sam Cosby's our best offensive lineman by far. By far. Marcus Edelin, he gives game balls. Offense, Trent Scott. Yeah, Trent Scott looked good stepping in for Wiley. Trent Scott should be starting the rest of the season at right tackle. Defense, Quan Martin. Quan Martin had a pretty good game. Hell, Forbes actually didn't look bad either. So, I mean, call it what it is. Forbes didn't look bad either. I mean, the Jets don't exactly have the scariest wide receivers, but late in that game, defense was stepping up. I saw Martin around the ball, or not Martin. Well, I saw Martin and Forbes around the ball a lot.
Did we get any turnovers this game?
Yeah, we had the Cody Barton interception.
Who? Yeah, Quan Martin. He had an interception.
No, Cody Barton. Remember Cody Barton?
Cody Barton, yeah.
Picked that pass off and then ran it back
in the red zone.
Didn't they horse collar him or something? So there was an additional penalty. There horse collar or face mask. I can't remember. And he got an additional 15 yards for that. I remember screaming. I was like, it was horse collar. I was like, horse collar. We got to call that. And it was a late flag. And that's, the very next play was there 2 plays later, we had a touchdown on that.
Cody Barton's had a pretty solid last 2 games too, brother.
So, with that being said, we're going to talk some Glock Dookie. And before it gets fully announced, even though we already kind of said it once, I got to give y'all the I gotta have some production value when I'm doing this podcast, damn it. Dev, who's the Glock Dookie?
You get rid of that Comcast or you got over.
I wish it was Comcast. That would actually be decent. All right, Dev, who's your Glock Dookie go to?
It goes the same way out. Too many interceptions, man. It costs us the game. At the end of the day, turnovers is what costs you games. As an individual, since the Glock Duke is an individual award, it's not a team award. I can't just give it to the defense or give it to the offensive line.
Dev gave it to the Glock Duke overall, still averaging 30.2 points per game allowed on the season.
Right. Yeah, I don't give it to overall teams, man, because
I will say this:
it's an individual award. But you're right. It easily you can say this, but when you create turnovers, like the game before this one, we created 2 turnovers. They didn't create any, and we still lost. So I don't. It's and they sacked their quarterback. They sacked Stafford more than Stafford got more than the Rams sacked us, and we still lost.
Yeah, we had no sacks this past game. Though.
Yeah, but you gotta pretty much treat every game as kind of its own entity in most cases when it comes to Glock Dookie awards. So I'm going to give it to Sam for 2 interceptions and then the benching. Man, you gotta tighten up, bro. You got 2 more games. Show us what you got. You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing. I'm happy to see Brissett do well because it kind of justifies everything me and Ellie screamed about on this podcast for 2 years about wanting Brissett to be the starter when we were trying to find the guy who can get us to the playoffs now quarterback. Because we weren't looking to develop one. And I don't know. At this point, I don't really care who the starter is moving forward.
I want to be.
I mean, I think if you give Howell the opportunity, because what do you got to lose at this point? But if you go for Brissett because you want to see the rest of the offense, cool. I want to see the play calling for a full game under Brissett because if that's different, I'm gonna be really pissed. But have you seen the replays of Wiley's shit mistakes and footwork? Dude, I've been watching it all season. I don't need to see replays. I watch Wiley on a lot of plays.
Oh, yeah, he's in the Glock Dookie Hall of Fame, bro. Wiley's is the shit juice.
We made
got a brown jacket, as we call it.
Yeah, he gets a brown jacket.
He got a brown jacket, man. He's in the rafters, man. The Glock Dookie Rafters Hall of Fame, bro. He's in there. He's the worst lineman I've ever seen wear a Washington Commanders uniform in my life, bro.
And we have a history of tackles on this team, left and right. I can't think of one. Look,
he's the worst, man.
I can say this. I specifically remember guys like Joe Patton and Shar Pradanish and
what was the dude that played left guard last year, man, that we hated?
Left guard last year?
Yeah, played left guard.
Yeah.
No, he didn't. Cosby don't play left guard.
Yeah, he does.
Well,
left guard. I'm sorry, left guard. Are you talking Sadiq Charles?
Who? You cutting out?
Sadiq Charles?
No, the one before him.
Dude who blocked into his own man, Norwell.
Yeah, Norwell. Oh my God, man, he was bad, but he was not worse than Wiley. Wiley's worse than Norwell.
Wiley's worse than Trey Turner. At least Norwell had a couple of good games. I have not seen good games from Wiley all season.
Yeah, a lot of good games with
it says he needs a season-long Glock Dookie. We're gonna probably rename.
Yeah, he's gonna get the Glock Dookie of the year for sure. That's I don't know who else to beat it.
We may rename the Glock Dookie Award, the Andrew Wiley Glock Dookie Award.
Right.
Jimmy thinks that Brissett should be the bridge to Sam at this point. Why?
He's definitely the logo for it.
Why? Who's saying this here? I'm sorry, we all don't. Jeff Hallman says they hate to say it, but just want Jacoby in because he'll screw it up, win the game. No, Jacoby.
San Fran and Dallas both got winning games, bro. They ain't sitting nobody out. They got to win those games. So
I don't think the outcome's already predetermined on that.
Yeah, they got to win the games,
me and Marty's to bring in Wiley, and then Norwell and Turner were brought in by the Martys. So,
man, hey, all I'm saying is
Kobe was starter all year, and we know why Rivera was desperate. If
Ron has authority to tell him to the bench, bro.
I disagree. I think Rivera's problem has been he's not desperate this year. If he was desperate, he would not have pinned his hopes on a guy who started one game and it was a meaningless final game of the year. That would not have been the guy he went with. He would go with Brissett because we saw him do that in 2021. He went and got Fitz. 2022, he went and got Wentz. Right? He was trying to find a guy to win now, a veteran who could win now. This year, he went to Howell, the young guy. This entire regime is worse than Spurrier. Incorrect. That would be the Jay Gruden regime. I've already explained why in exhaustive detail. All right. The minute you have a coach that comes in here and almost gets a quarterback literally killed, as in ending his life due to, an injury he suffers on the field because of his own penis envy, because someone else was banging his side piece, then you can say that that regime is the worst since whenever. All right. When we have one that does something worse than that. All right. You think the game is flat out past Ron by? I don't agree with that because that's that whole age belief. Oh, you have to have a head coach that's under 40 now. Here's the thing: the guys who are head coaches now will be head coaches in 20 years, and they'll still be winning, and some of them will still be winning games. Andy Reid's winning games.
Jim Zorn was the worst coach.
Retired walrus.
Jim Zorn was the worst coach.
Okay, Yam says that the Spurrier says back 10 plus years. This regime says back at least 3 on top of the 4 they have been here. This regime fixed. We were 10 years off because of Allen and Gruden. All right. This regime did, they didn't win anything. But I think there's a stability that allows the next coach to build upon that Rivera did not have the advantage of having. So Oh, I like this. Who came from the Rivera tree, though? Can you name anyone? Gruden's tree all came from Shanahan.
McDermott.
Hold on. Gruden's tree were all Shanahan guys.
McDermott.
Yeah, McDermott. Damn it. Who was the guy? There was a
McDermott.
You say Scott Turner.
McDermott.
Hold on else. Let me see here because I want to go back because I'm missing somebody.
McDermott with the Bills.
Yeah, no, I already said McDermott, but there's someone else here that I am missing from Rivera's coaching tree that I was like, oh yeah, that guy. Let's go back. Yeah, Rivera liked veteran coaches. Steve Wilkes, Carolina guy.
Nah,
McDermott was a Carolina guy.
And it don't count being a head coach in the league. Who cares if you're
Mike Shula was the offensive coordinator in Carolina with Ron for a long time.
Yeah, but that's that was like his worst place being though.
Who?
Mike Shula.
Well, I don't know about that because he did well with Cam.
Yeah, I mean everybody.
But I'm looking here. Ken Dorsey was is part of that tree. Ken Dorsey's doing really well right now. Ron Meeks, Mike Shula, Mike Shula, quarterback.
None of them are head coaches except for McDermott.
Do what?
None of them are head coaches except for McDermott.
Ken Dorsey will be a head coach. Eric Washington. A lot of guys who I think will be moving upward in the future. Yeah, because Eric Washington is up in Buffalo right now with Sean McDermott. Because he came up under McDermott under Rivera as well. So I don't know. Like I said, all the guys, everybody gives credit to Gruden, were all on this staff the last year that Shanahan was here. So JP Finley got on the radio and said we should trade everything for Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson, and look how that turned out. Huh? Yeah, I agree.
Russell had a pretty good year this year, though.
Steve Wilkes, the person he knows. Sean McDermott, the head coach of the Buffalo Bills, who have been playing very well the past few years under him, came from Ron as well. Ken Dorsey will be a head coach in this league sooner before later. He's actually the offensive coordinator up in Buffalo. Actually, no, didn't he just get fired? Yeah, he just got fired. I'm sorry. He got fired in Buffalo just because of the fact they lost a couple games back to back. I forgot about that. But Ken Dorsey will be a head coach in this league. I think he was just a sacrificial lamb, to be honest with you.
I don't know. If they don't go to playoffs this year, there's a chance their head coach get fired, bro. It's crazy.
Yeah, but
that could happen. They lose another game, man. They might not make the playoffs.
Yeah, but I think Ken Dorsey has a good future in this league. He's not. I mean, like I said, he got fired just because of they had a couple of games where the offense struggled, and McDermott just fired him.
I'm saying McDermott might get fired.
Says, when was Sean under Ron? Most of Ron's time in Carolina. Go look it up. Especially in the early years.
I think it was a defensive coordinator, right?
Dorsey is an offensive consultant for the Giants now. That's right. And go figure, the Giants' offense has looked better since they got him. So, like I said, I think Ken Dorsey, setback, but I think he will be a head coach in this league in the future. He's an offensive guy. He's younger, I should say. So, I think I don't know if he'll be good. I like this. They carried by Cam years. Everybody's got an excuse, for their agenda. When you talk about, these guys came out, they were carried by Cam. Well, these guys, that are giving credit to that propped up Gruden, they all came from Shanahan. Well, they're part of the Gruden tree. No, they're part of the Shanahan tree because they were all here in 2013. LaFleur, McDaniels, McVay, all those guys.
Bruce Allen tree, sound like.
They're actually Bruce Allen didn't coach shit. So, see, I thought Cam was USC. No, he wasn't. See, anyway, but nonetheless, like I said, I think that there's every head coach. If you're here long enough, you have a tree. You have a tree. But anyway, moving on. So now that we've talked about all this, we'll talk about the 49ers game and how do we not get our asses kicked incredibly. We'll talk about that Thursday. But nonetheless, I'm trying to find the damn audio. But my production sucks. My production skills suck here. But nonetheless, let me see if I can.
How'd you enjoy your Christmas, man?
My Christmas was very good. Let me put some. There we go.
I can't hear none of that.
Percival, it was good.
I think you got your speakers out there. I think you have your speakers out there because I hear like a crazy interference.
No, I'm playing background music.
Oh. It was pretty good, man. Marcus, Louisville plays USC tomorrow. I'll be rooting for my Cardinals to win, but they probably will lose. They let you down all the time. But yeah, my Christmas was pretty cool, man. My kids came to visit. Got their gifts. Got some cool little clothes. I got a 3D printer, which I haven't even taken out of the box yet. So,
see, I got one of those.
Gonna make a fleshlight. Gonna make a fleshlight.
Yeah, fleshlight for Christmas.
I don't know.
Your girl's really just trying to get you out of the house.
Hey, keep me in the house. She got me a
house and away from
printer. Yeah, I got her a Series X Xbox, so now there's like 3 or 4 Series X's in this house. So I got her one of those. She plays Call of Duty. She's into that. She's in there playing zombies right now. She plays that thing all night long. I want to keep her off my shit, so I got her a Series X.
Trying to find
other shit.
I sent a video to some friends.
I think I'm about going to see The Color Purple after this podcast.
What do you mean go see it? That movie came out like in God.
No, they got a new one it's got a brand new one. It's got a really good cast in it. They're doing it at the movie theater. It came out on Christmas. It's getting a lot of good reviews. It's more of a musical than a movie. But it's supposed to be really, really, really good. I want to see that. I want to see this terrible Aquaman movie that I know is terrible, but since I've seen all the other ones, I got to see that. I want to see Napoleon. So I'm thinking about going to movies tonight. But I'm higher than trap pussy, so probably not.
All right. So I did my son well for Christmas, right? I got him his big present was
flashlight.
I did not get my son a flashlight. Jesus Christ. Jimmy Lee Patterson says, "Fuck Color Purple. The Iron Claw's going to be shit." I saw Iron Claw on Saturday. Really?
Dude, yeah, I heard it's terrible. They left like the one that's dead. They left him out of the whole movie. Like I heard it's some bad reviews.
Here's the thing: they combined 2 of the brothers into one character, but they both killed themselves.
Yeah. I'm going to watch.
They both killed themselves, and that's a thing. They did combine 2 of the brothers into one big character, basically. And they did not show the oldest brother's death because the oldest brother died when he was a kid. He got electrocuted tripping over a.
There's only one alive now, right? One.
There's only one that's alive now. But if you know the story,
don't tell nobody the story.
Go, that's right. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's right. That's wrong. You're going to do that.
But is it a good movie that I care about?
It is a really good movie. It's well acted.
You watched it? You already seen Iron Claw?
I saw it Saturday.
Oh shit! I didn't know it was out.
It came out Friday.
I watched Rebel Moon. All these Zack Snyder movies will irritate me is those stupid ass slow motion fight scenes. Every fight scene in slow motion, not just one or two.
He loves
every one of them It's
him
like
and slow motion
300 and Batman versus Superman.
Are like what's his name?
Watchmen
and the Doves.
Yeah. John Woo. Yeah.
I was gonna say Ang Lee. I was like, that's not correct.
Man, Hard Boiled. By the way, if you've never watched Hard Boiled ever, Chow Yun Fat, really young Chow Yun Fat movie. Excellent movie, man. There used to be a video game they patterned after it. I forgot what it's called. He went bullet time with Chow Yun Fat. He's coming on Xbox.
You mean they said, what about the walk-up music? You mean when they used Tom Sawyer by Rush? That's in the movie. That's in the movie. I did my son well. So my son's big present, I don't have pictures. I got him an autographed photo framed of Gene Simmons because my son's a huge Kiss fan. Believe it or not, I have an 18-year-old son who's a massive Kiss fan.
Rock and roll all night.
But I got him an autographed photo of Gene Simmons. But I also hooked him up. He has LED lights in his room, but I also got him one of those Nebula displays. Like they call them a Space Buddy. You tilt it, and it puts like a nebula, galaxy deal, and laser stars all over your room. So this is, I'm going to share my screen here. And I'm going to show you what this looks like. Let me full screen this. This is what I did with my son's room here. This is what it looked like when we got this.
Whoa!
This is my son's bedroom. He had not hung up the Gene Simmons picture yet. It was in his hands, but.
So it's just a hologram bulb that does it the whole room instead of just putting stars on the wall?
Yeah. It's like laser.
I think I got my girlfriend's daughter one of those. She broke that thing like first week. I was mad as hell.
So, GB League, yes, the Freebird. There is a match with the Freebirds in there. They don't talk to them. They did give Bruiser Brody and Gino Hernandez a little shine too. So if you're into that world class era of wrestling, it is represented pretty well. Although they do act like Kerry Von Erich going to the WWF is what killed their attendance, and not the fact that the price of oil collapsed and the oil industry in Texas went to hell and everything was in a recession down there. They didn't talk about that. So there is, like I said, there's definitely some what they call artistic liberties taken. Creative liberties were taken. But
do you watch Heels? The TV show?
I watched the first season, yes. They did not, by the way, they did not renew it. I'm kind of pissed.
Oh, so it was all right.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I thought about watching it, man.
Bruiser Brody was crazy. Yeah, he was. And you couldn't do shit with him either. That dude was legitimate. They're getting money. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Bruiser Brody was insane. That dude was one of the most legitimate tough guys in the business of wrestling. The fact that he was killed by another wrestler, he was stabbed to death in Puerto Rico. That's an insane story. If you ever want to look at the story of Bruiser Brody, Dev, that's right up your alley in terms of just crazy shit.
I have the WWE network on my.
They don't like talk about Bruiser Brody because him getting killed in Puerto Rico does not make the wrestling business look good. It's actually just a wrestling app. It's got all the wrestlers like life biographies on and stuff. So I probably will check it out. I think that's go on YouTube. All the episodes of Dark Side of the Ring get posted.
Yeah, they got all the episodes of those. I got those too.
Yeah, watch the one on Bruiser Brody.
I've probably seen it then. I've watched all them some bitches, man. They got a new one up of Ric Flair. I forgot what it's called. They got another one chronicling Ric Flair's life. And I haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah, I love to see the one that talks about all of his marriages and how much he's had to pay in alimony. Because it's a lot of money.
Ric Flair ain't no joke when it comes to that.
Yeah, says he needs to finish watching Heels, but he knew something was up when Stephen Amell was filming a new show elsewhere. Yeah. Yeah, said that Rebel Moon was pretty mid, but a neat visual.
Yeah, it did look. It looked great, sound great, like all Zack Snyder movies. They look and sound great. It's kind of. I felt like the characters weren't. It's basically. You ever played the games like Assassin's Creed, where it's like it's fun until you do the same thing 100 times. You do 100 things. You do one cool thing 100 times. So it felt like they meet a guy. Hey, I know a guy that can help us rebel. We'll go find him. And he's in the middle of something where he got to fight some monster. And then he joins the team. They're like, hey, I know somebody that can help us. And they go find him. He's fighting some monster. And they recruit him. Then they go, it's just basically rinse and repeat. You know, you can clearly tell the influence from Star Wars, from Battlestar Galactica, from all of the sci-fi big great movies. They kind of picked a lot of the best parts from there. They got a cool lightsaber trick, but it's just slow motion and blurriness. Like it almost seemed like you're robbed of it would have been a great universe they could have made. I don't know if you watched The Creator with Denzel Washington's son. Same type of deal where you feel like, man, this had so much potential, but I think the PG-13ness ruined it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just didn't. It wasn't as a war, and no one really dies. Really, you know what I'm saying? Hey, they are dead, but they don't really. You don't see it. You don't really become invested in anyone, particularly besides the boy and Denzel's Junior's son, Denzel's son. You don't really feel like you're part of the experience. I felt like this was kind of the case where you didn't really understand the team just getting together. They just introduced them real fast and show they can fight. And they're all like knockoffs of Star Wars characters, or what's that one? I'm John, whatever. He goes to another planet, can jump real high. What's his fucking that movie? John Turner, or whatever his name is. The movie. You can I can't think of the name of it, but you can tell they basically
Jack Reacher.
No, that's a spy movie. I'm talking about the John Tom. I forgot what it is, man. He goes to another planet. He has his superpowers. It was a dud movie, but it cost a lot to make.
Oh. Anyway, if you're into comics and so forth, I've been trying to put Dev onto the whole Rippaverse.
Did you watch that one I sent you?
Which one?
The Injustice with the He-Man.
Oh yeah. Still waiting for the Injustice movie, but I'm still waiting for that. I want Injustice.
I haven't watched The Boy and the Heron either. I haven't watched that yet. That's what I really want to go see. But
let's hope that, because that's Miyazaki's last movie supposedly before his son takes over and completely ruins the entire studio.
Yeah, Earwig was terrible. I didn't like it.
Yeah, a lot of people thought it was terrible, but
in comparison to
Quentin Strouder's jumping in here, points out he's responding to previous comments that it's all about development. Prospects can be as good as development they receive. It's true. And clearly ran the ball more when Sam went out and was more effective. I already went over that. We were 70% run with Sam, and we were 57.7% passing with Brissett. Go figure. New Percy Jackson series on Disney Plus. I'm too old for Percy Jackson.
Watch the old Percy Jackson, bro, but it does look fucking cool. Echo comes out in a week or two. I heard that's really good. It's like more of a Daredevil type of Marvel. I want to see that when it comes out too. But yeah, you're right. Percy Jackson looked pretty good, man. I'm not a fan of the franchise, man. I kind of was I was a little older than a young adult when that came out. I think I didn't get into it. It's kind of like Harry Potter to me. Like, I understand. I've seen other Harry Potters, but I wasn't really much into it, man.
That show and that series, that just, I don't know, it missed my son's. My son was not in the right age bracket for that when that hit. So,
man, I remember working at Amazon when Amazon was not nearly as big as it is now. And Harry Potter came out, and it was like their big thing. And I worked I was a shipping coordinator at one of the first Amazon dealership places or the distribution centers, and they had the whole factory room vaulted down because that book was in there. And if you open one up as a worker, they fired you on the spot. That's how big Harry Potter was.
Tia Holloway says she can't explain what EB is doing really good, but she doesn't like it. I'm struggling with him because I like it when he's not being what he's been. When like I said, I liked his play calling a lot better with Brissett. I just liked what he chose. And it's the stuff that we wanted him to run with Sam.
I don't feel like it was that much different. I just felt like the circumstances were different.
No, because he was running more under center and all that too. I mean, I was literally paying attention because when we started, I was like, "Why are we doing this well?" And I was like,
because I think the game's over at that point. You're just running it out, but then you see some shit break, you gotta go for the touchdown. I think it's basically, I think that's like the first game they brought Brissett in. I felt like the first series, the other team was just sitting back playing prevent and they got caught on. But the second series, they had
like 8 minutes left in the game. Brissett came in with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. And the Jets were still playing, but our play calling was different. I mean, like I said, I already showed it was a much more favorable run-pass ratio and all that. But Yam says he's big here, close to the same age. I love all that stuff. I mean, look, Yam, I'm going back and rewatching regular show right now. So I mean, I get that. That is a fantastic. The more I watch that show, the more I'm like, damn, this show was good. Like they really captured that. But Christopher McDaniel is and Tia want to know how Percy Jackson was so far. Christopher McDaniel says that it's really cool. He likes all that stuff. Quentin Strouder, I think he's behind here. He says thinks the free agent pickups ultimately debate where we go in the draft. Find a high-end left tackle. We draft a quarterback. If we can't, I think we'll go left tackle early in the draft. Marvin Harrison Jr. will be the pick.
Man, I pick him anyway.
Essentially win now. Other than Harrison Fields, a full rebuild.
Man, if you need a quarterback that bad, you can go throw a bunch of money at Kirk Cousins, dog, and bring him on. If you think you're a quarterback away, dog. If you still on Marvin Harrison Jr., that's going to be quarterbacks at the end of the first round. You can trade them too to get back in. There's going to be linemen at the end of the first round that shouldn't be there. You can trade back in and grab them, dog. You need to pick the best player available. If that happens to be a lineman, dog, if you're picking below top 3 or 4 and it's the lineman, you pick the lineman. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not mad at
Jimmy
that.
pointed out the under center thing.
You got Bowers.
If he trusts Brissett there, I think I'm going to take a guess because when we've seen Sam operate under center, he's done fine. So I think I think he's been trying to protect Sam better by putting him under center and not having him have to drop back, because when he's dropped back under center and that line hasn't held because he likes to run those longer developing plays, he gets to the top of that 7-step drop and there's two edge rushers on him. But that was my observation. But when he's had the time, he's done really well under center. It's allowed, we've run the ball better under center, and that's allowed him to do better in the play action game. Ian says anyone but Daniels. I'm not one way or the other on Jaden Daniels yet.
Anybody gets 4,000 some yards and over almost $1,200-$1,300 rushing is the kind of guy I want on my team, bro.
I'm not going to. I'm not a guy who just looks at the numbers, especially with college.
I'm taking them. That's how you got to go on anybody. Everybody's numbers coming in. You got to look at the college numbers.
I want to look at how he's accumulating that. Is he running a more pro style offense? Is he running something where it's the Ohio State one read offense? How is he accumulating?
No, they run a regular ass modern day offense, man, down there in LSU, bro. They don't run all running guns. He got 4,000 yards passing. You know what I'm saying?
Justin Fields and Dwayne Haskins had even better passing stats than him.
Justin Fields is good in the NFL, bro. I'll take Justin Fields. Trade them twos for Justin Fields. I'll do it.
Oh,
Y'all
God.
Tripping, man. Y'all tripping, man. Justin Fields was on Washington.
Justin Fields is not accurate as a thrower.
Justin Fields is a better football player than anyone on Washington right now. That's all I'm saying.
He always said Esau Daniels wasn't thoroughly impressed. He will struggle at the NFL level.
And he might. All rookies are struggling at the NFL level.
Ever since blows up their final year, and they weren't doing that before, I'm like, all right, let me take a look and see. Man, I really want to sit and watch some film of them first.
We're gonna get a new GM that's gonna hire we're gonna get a new president, which possibly hires a new GM, which gets a new coach. They need to hire. They're probably gonna get a new quarterback, man. A whole new system.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure of it.
Don't leave Hurney and Mayhew in there, bro.
The only way this whole conversation of a new quarterback changes is if they keep EB and make him the head coach.
No, the only way it's not going to happen. What's going to happen is they keep Marty Hurney and them in there, man. Then it's going to happen.
I love Steve. Justin Fields hasn't thrown for more than 2,200 yards yet. Sam surpassed his career high by week 10.
Man, I'm not mad if they say Sam. Honestly, I'm saying pick the best player available, dog. If that best player is not a quarterback, this is not a quarterback. I mean, if it is a quarterback, it is a quarterback. Best player in the draft, bro.
The 1 year flash had to change schools and came out of nowhere virtually. I'm not hating on the kid, but I need to see more. I still really don't think he warrants a first round pick, much less top 5. Crazy. He's not hating on Fields. Fields exposed us. That's not saying much. You're right.
Yeah, right. One receiver exposed.
I could have thrown for 300 yards against our defense.
When we played the Bears,
how wide open the receivers were.
When we played the Bears, they had the best players on the field, bro. Fields is better than everybody on our team, and the receiver was the best player on the field, dog. They had the best players on the field.
Got into a bigger and better program.
That were the best players on the field. That's what we need to do. Put somebody out there you fucking scared of, bro.
And Marcus Stevens sits there and keep Jason Wright as president. You're right.
He doesn't do anything football related. Who cares, man?
I think he's talking about president of football, vice president, I should say, vice president of football operations. We'll have a new one.
Yeah,
because Jason Wright doesn't handle the football operations side. He is the team president. He oversees everything in general, but he's more of a business side guy. All right, let's keep that real. It's below Jason Wright on the business side, or I'm saying on the football side. Everything is probably going to change, but.
Yep.
I'm not throwing out the idea that we go into next year and Eric Bieniemy is the head coach either. Because I just don't know what this ownership's going to do.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen, bro.
No, Jason needs to stick to community. That's what he does. Jason does not handle football operations at all. He never has and never will. So, anyway, I think we're going to wrap this one up.
It's going to be a name, bro. It's not going to be some new offensive coordinator getting their first gig. It's going to be a name, bro. I'm telling you, I don't know who it's going to be. It's going to be a name. It's going to be a name.
Considered the hot guy, him and Ben Johnson. So
it's going to be a name, bro. Any team associated with Harris, any team associated with Magic got a name. With a head coaching or big name free agent or big name rookie, they always get a name, bro. Even
a name could be the hottest up and comer. Could be the name.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be an established guy. It's going to be an established name. It's going to be a dude that's done some shit, like a Harbaugh. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised. You got to at least ask Lincoln Riley if you exhaust your choices. You got to at least ask him. He's probably going to say no, but you got to ask. You got to ask. You got to see if Tomlin wants.
I hate to say this. I don't think we're going to know who. I don't think we're going to know about everybody they ask about. Because they've already been asking. They've been looking at. Apparently, they've been talking to GMs. We don't know who the hell they've talked to.
Man, I'm talking about head coach. I'm telling you what's going to happen. They're going to get a name.
I'm just saying we may not get Lincoln Riley, but that doesn't mean we didn't inquire about Lincoln Riley.
Right. So, that's what I'm saying. I ain't saying we're going to get him, but they're going to call him.
But that's what I'm saying, Dev. So if we get a head coach that is not Lincoln Riley or Jim Harbaugh, don't get too mad that we didn't ask about him because we don't know. Because, like I said, apparently they've interviewed. I
want Harbaugh. I would take.
Apparently
Johnson.
They've interviewed people for the general manager. We don't have a single name yet. So
I would take Johnson.
Let's keep that in mind.
I would take any offensive coordinator with the Eagles or the San Fran or the Dolphins. You know what I'm saying?
I understand, but we're not going to know all the names of people they've inquired about yet.
McVay might want out. There's a lot of motherfuckers that want to be going somewhere else, bro. You never know. I would ask all of them, bro. And Washington has a pretty good. They got decent. They got good players. They got some good young players. They got a lot of cap space, like $90 million plus in cap space. They have an opportunity if you wanted to grow at least good, decent quarterback. Howell is there. You know, if you believe that guy's the guy, he's available. If not, you have the choice to get the quarterback your choice or the best skill position player other than quarterback or lineman. You have a lot of picks in the first 2 or 3 days of the draft. I think you got Magic and Harrison.
Again,
they're about to move back to DC. Hopefully, there's a lot of good things looking forward to watching the next 4 or 5 years.
You will never know every person named.
I would still go to the Chargers. There, if I was a coach, I would go to the Chargers because it's in LA and you got a quarterback and a whole lot of good players. Yeah, I would go to the Chargers before I come to Washington. I'm just letting y'all know if I was
cold and rainy for most of your football season.
I would go to the Chargers.
So, anyway,
if I'm gonna lose in the sunshine, baby.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
I'm not losing.
Anyway, everybody, thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. A lot of ranting and raving, not a lot of hanging out and trying to stick to the agenda. But hey, when you're out of the playoffs and random stuff's happening, you talk about the stuff that's actually, worth it. I know Steve does a really good job trying to set these agendas, and then when he's not here, I just completely crap the bed on that. But that's just, I'm a different kind of host, I guess. But anyway, we will see you all here Thursday night, 8:30 p.m. We'll talk about this coming game up with the 49ers, and if we even possibly have a chance, I don't know. We'll find out.
Hope not. No chance.
Next time, I'm Phil. He's Dev. Steve will be here. And as always, peace and hail. We out.